Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am going to explain to you how to take your accurate body measurement before starting a knitting project. To start with, I love to use my tape rule whenever I am knitting, but first off, I would love to ask my clients some things when it comes to measurement. For male, I love to ask for their chest measurement, for female, their bust measurement, then for male and female, the top length and the hand sleeve. These are the important things I love to ask my clients. And how will I convert the normal tape rule measurement to my knitting measurement? So what I do is I always gauge it. Now, since we always stay at the middle of point zero, I'm going to give you an example. If a client says, okay, my chest is 40, 40 and I knit in panels. 40 is, you have to divide it, and 40 gives you 20. Now, instead of me to use 20 on the machine, because it stretches and it also shrinks, I love to add extra 3 to 4 inches. Like what I did here, I added extra 4 inches, which is 24. Then I bring out whatever it gives me on the machine. Let me say it gives me, once I gauge it on the machine, it gives me like, let me say 70 for 24 inches. Then I'll bring out 70 inches. Now I'm going to also sketch something too. Please just ignore my drawing. I'm not too good in drawing. I'm still working on that. So this 24 would give me like 70. I'm just saying. So whatever it gives you on your machine, you write it down. So 70, and I love to add, if I'm knitting a sweater, I love to add extra 5 by the sides. Now, when it comes to the length of what I'm showing you, I love to add extra 2 inches. Now, let me say the client gives me the length of 26. I make it 28 inches. I'm going to also show you in my sketchbook. I make it 28. So I'm showing you 26. So I'm adding extra 2 inches because it shrinks a little bit to make it 28. So as I said, if you just ignore my drawing, this is for a sweater measurement. And if you have this measurement that I am giving you, you can apply it to anything when it comes to sweaters. Later on, I'll still give you measurements for dresses, skirts, and the likes. But this is for a sweater. Now, I always knit from the down part, and the down part is the rib part. Now, I'm bringing out 70 needles from both sides. Don't forget that whatever I bring out by the left-hand side, you also bring it out by the right-hand side. After you knit your rib part, as I said, I love to add extra 5 by the sides. Then I knit to my armpit. How will you also get this? How will you get it is, most times what I do is 10 rows gives me 1 inch, 20 rows gives me 2 inches. So as you're knitting that, once you get to your armpit, because you start from the rib part, once you get to your armpit would be like 18 inches. So from my armpit to my final length, I love for adult size, I love to add extra 100 rows or 110, depending. If the guy has like a broad chest or broad shoulder, I love to add extra 100 or 110. Now from the down sleeve to the armpit, I need 18 inches. Then the remaining 10 inches to make it 28 is from the armpit to the final length, which is 100 or 110. As I said, I'm going to also illustrate it for you here for you to understand what I am talking about. I'm going to bring out 70 needles. That means I added extra 4 inches because I'm trying to get the measurement of 20 inches. Don't forget, I added extra 4. So the reason is why I'm adding extra 4 is because when it's on the machine, it's wide, it's stretchy, but once I remove it, it's going to shrink. So that's one thing about the knitting machine, and one thing you need to understand. So one of the reasons why some people say, okay, when they knit for a client, it's actually very tight, is because they do not add extra inches by both sides. Now for this one, I'm trying to explain better for you. As I said, the length is 26. This is just a sample for what a client would give you. Now if the client gives you 26, you add extra 2 inches for the length. You make it 28 inches. That is for the length. Now for the width, if the client says, okay, 20 inches, as I said, you add extra 4 to make it 24 inches. That's for the width or breadth. That's for the chest or the bust part. So this is something I want you to always do. Always add extra 3 to 4 inches or 5 inches depending, because it will shrink. And don't forget that you will also join it. So one thing about knitting is very stretchy too. So because of all these parts, you need to understand it. Once you add extra 4 inches, it gives you 24 inches. So that once you remove it from the machine, you will get the proper measurement. It won't be too tight or too loose. It will give you like the accurate measurement. And as I said, you can apply this to any measurement your client gives you. This is just a sample. It's not like the exact measurement you have to use. You can apply it for any measurement. Now, if your client says, okay, my top length is 28, make it 30. If your client says, okay, my chest or bust is 44, you add extra 4 inches, that's like 48 inches. So I would want you guys to apply this measurement for your sweaters. You can use it for baby sweaters, adult, anybody, and you will definitely get this measurement. It's very, very easy to understand, and it's very, very easy to apply. This is what I use most times. As I said, 10 inches for me gives me 10 rows, gives me 1 inch. 20 rows gives me 2 inches. So as you are knitting, it's also advisable for you to use your tape rule as you are knitting to measure it. And always remove your hanging weight or your comb, because the hanging weight on comb brings it down. So if you want to get your accurate measurement, it's advisable for you to remove your hanging weight or your comb, then measure it using your tape rule. That is how you get your accurate measurement. Very important, your accurate measurement. So if you watch this again, I want you to try it and make any sample or any project of your choice and tag me. I'm sure this will actually help you in any measurement that you are going to knit. It's really, really easy, very easy to understand. So I'm sure this will help you in any project of your choice. See you in my next video. Bye.